What's going on, everybody? Doc, Average Gamer Guys, back yet again. More Escape from Tarkov action. Jumping into a quick video to talk about one of the best, that's right, I said best, pre-wipe events that we, in my opinion, have ever had. We're going to jump in. This is going to be purely about raids. You don't even have to see me. I recorded some fun raids that we had an absolute blast, had an awesome raid up front, tons of PvP, boss fights, and a whole bunch of juicy loot with everything being unlocked, all the traders open, and everything being really cheap. I'm going to share my thoughts about the event as we dive into it, and then at the end, share some other fun moments and some bloopers, I guess you could call them, that we had in the course of playing today. So hopefully you enjoy. Without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so first things first, want to jump in here. These raids were recorded when I was just honestly having some fun, testing out the event and seeing what was going on. So kind of off camera, I figured I would go ahead and give these a record in case we had any fun moments. And I ended up playing for about an hour, had an absolute blast with this event. You're going to see I'm going to get into PvP pretty quick here. And I will tell you that has just been a key marker of the raids, at least that I was able to play, I guess by the time you're seeing this yesterday, but during the course of this event. Let's quickly talk about the event in case you're not too up to date on what's going on. As soon as you load into a raid, lethal toxin, 480 seconds. If you do not find an antidote to reset that timer, if that timer goes to 0, you die. It's not a permadeath, it just takes you to the end screen like you normally would have died from another means. You're able to basically heal from therapists, which seems to be a little bit cheaper at this point, and then you can load back into your raid. As we have come to see, I think this is probably like the top tier perennial pre-wipe event. All traders are open and unlocked. Everything's back inside of those traders to be able to purchase, and everything is super cheap. You're going to be able to find a lot of stuff for a ruble or a dollar. I think T7s are probably one of the most expensive items, and they're like 1,700 rubles. So this is your great chance, even if you're a little bit of a lower player, go in, buy yourself some tier 5 armor, go have some fun, build out a meta kit, and just go enjoy it. You can see some of the loot I'm getting off some of these guys. They are running some high quality gear. Interesting that they're running a 100 rounder on that gun, but it is pretty fun, and you can just tell everybody's going to be running really solid gear. As far as the event, like I said, that lethal toxin gets started, and you need to find an XTG-12 inside of the raid. Now, interestingly enough, those spawn, and you are probably familiar, if you're not, there have been a bunch of care packages dropping it. Those care packages continue, actually, and what they instead will drop, instead of a bunch of gear and all that stuff, is they will have a single antidote in it. That XTG-12 cannot be brought into raid with you, so you can't load one in prior to. You have to be able to find it in raid. In addition, it cannot be put inside of your container. So if you end up dying while you're holding one and another player kills you, they get the luck of being able to go and have that XTG-12 and be able to use it. Again, it does not completely eliminate the toxin. It resets the timer to 480 seconds. Interestingly enough, there's also one exit per map. That exit is on a timer. It seems to be about, it's hard to say, but it seems to be about maybe 15, 16 minutes or so into the raid. Then you can start that extraction. It sounds like there are other ways to be able to get out if you spam some of the other exits, but you're going to need to wait an additional time. If you go to that single extract, I believe you're able to get out a little bit sooner, and I've just been taking the single extract mostly because it is just swarming with PvP. In addition to all that, you're going to see that I killed Sanitar here with a really nice placed grenade. I'm going to pick up an XTG-12 there from him, and all of the bosses are spawning on almost all of the maps. So I believe, with the exception of Labs and maybe Lighthouse, I think are the only ones, and I could be mistaken about Lighthouse. But basically, you have the ability to go in and fight a bunch of bosses in a bunch of different maps. I'm not sure if Factory has all of the bosses either. That's one thing I've been meaning to check out, and I'm sure somebody in the comments down below will let me know that I am wrong. But it has been an absolute blast of an event. This is the interesting thing that I want to talk about, is that this is exactly the type of event that people were asking for. Now, granted, the toxin can be a little, interesting, but you also, and I failed to mention, you get basically max stamina, and you're going to see, as I run around here, you're going to have no stamina lost, none at all. Not a single drop. So basically, you're getting the ability to run, you can sprint, you can jump, you can fly around. This is exactly the type of pre-wipe event that people were hoping for. And honestly, I think it was done in a really interesting way that forces the PvP. It forces you to go fight these bosses. It forces you to fight for airdrops, and it forces, honestly, you to get into engagements. You'll see some bloopers later on at the end of this that I'm just getting pushed by like 2 and 3 man squads, and there's just like no holds barred, just absolutely running at me, trying to gun me down. And it honestly was some of the most fun PvP I've had. I've come to realize as I look at social media a little bit, you're just not going to make everybody happy. I've seen a lot of comments about people camping bosses or camping airdrops. And you know what? I can understand the frustration with that a little bit, but I also understand if you're a level 21 player that's never killed Killa or Tagilla, that's not something that you're really interested in doing. So maybe you're gonna try and find a way or play a little bit more tactical to get that done, and that ends up resulting in some interesting gameplay. I'm not going to shit on those folks. Certainly, if you have an opinion and you weren't a fan of this event, that is for you. But what I will tell you is, if you wanted PvP, you are absolutely getting it from this event. And I think it was done in a really unique and interesting way. I also think it's a really interesting way to go about and take a look at introducing lethal intox, which they talked about having done in the past. This is something that I think we have seen and known is potentially possible, and basically this is their test run to be able to do it in an environment where it really doesn't matter. People talking about, oh, you want folks to be able to use really top-end gear. You're going to see at the end of this raid that I find a whole bunch of stuff. In addition, I killed Sturman here pretty crazily, and I ended up picking up a red rebel from him. This is my second from him this wipe, so I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously doesn't mean a whole lot. I think I ended up selling it actually for like 110 rubles at some point later on in the video. But I just want to share that I think this is exactly what people were hoping for. It certainly was, for me, it was an absolute ton of fun. Go fight a boss, go get into a bunch of PvP, and the death doesn't matter because everything is so dang cheap, right? I was able to rebuild the kit, put a slick and some other really good armor back on and jump in. People have been running T7s, Reapers, Fleers, a whole bunch of fun stuff since this event got started. The airdrops really pushed the PvP. The single extract, as you're going to see here, ends up pushing the PvP as well, and ends up being, in my opinion, a ton of fun. So kudos to BSG. Let me know your thoughts down below if you ended up enjoying the event or if you didn't like it as much. I think, again, I understand that not everybody's going to be happy, and you certainly can't please everybody with what you're trying to do, but I think this really meant the intent of what people were hoping PvP at the end of the wipe was going to look like. So I'm going to let you, excuse my burp there, I'm going to let you continue to enjoy the rest of this raid as it finishes out. Take a look at the awesome loot that we end up picking up, and then enjoy some of the bloopers, and we'll catch you at the end of the video. Enjoy.
Вон он, блядь, ебашь его! Ими! Хуйло, вот хуйло! Конец тебе! Ладно, чьи?
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the bloopers at the end, especially me getting head tapped by that scav while I was jumping. I certainly did share a bunch of my opinions at the start. Let me know. I'm very curious. Let me know what you thought about this event, if you've enjoyed pre-wipe up to this point, and if you did not enjoy it, what would you change about it? Very interested to hear that. I think community feedback is really important, but I certainly hope you kind of understand the intent of this event, and hopefully you had a few raids, fun raids, and some good raids where you're able to try out maybe some gear that you hadn't been able to do before. I'm going to close this one out, just say thank you so much for the support. Really looking forward to the wipe. We have a ton of stuff planned, a bunch of other videos this week that I think will be good, kind of pre-wipe, event help, some other things that we're looking at doing, in addition to some closeouts, hardcore and escape series, to kind of wrap those up before we jump into the next season. So if you're interested in that, be sure to stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, thank you so much for the YouTube algorithm help. Everything certainly does help. We are trying to continue to build our subscriber base here, trying to get to that 10K before the year is out, and have had some really good growth these last couple of weeks. So if you're one of those subscribers or you've been with us for a while and are checking out these videos, sincerely thank you so much. I'm going to flash some socials at you really quick. Twitter, Twitch, Discord, TikTok. We're going to be trying to stream as much as we can once wipe happens and pushing on our main account. So if you're interested in that, coming over to join us, maybe run some raids and get some quests done together, be sure to give us a follow. All those links in the description. We do stream usually Fridays and Saturdays, typically Sundays, and during the week when we can, around 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have a whole bunch of other socials if you want to stay up to date with the channel or anything else that's going on with us. Be sure to give us a follow, and we'd love to see you over there. I'll close it out. I've been Doc, Average Gamer Guys. As always, thanks for watching, and try to enjoy some of these pre-wipe events. Catch you in the next one. Peace.